Hey, what's good, everybody? It's J Dub, and I'm back on the reaction to this loss we took to the Cincinnati Bengals, and I'm disappointed overall. I felt like we had plenty of opportunities to take control of this game, but just back to being the same old Giants. After a great win last week against Seattle Seahawks, can't seem to win games on prime time or at home. That's what we had going against us. I guess this game from before the kick, before we even got on the field, was that it was a home game and it was a prime time game in which we just simply don't know how to win those type of games. So shout out to all the fans out there at MetLife Stadium. You guys haven't seen a win yet this season, and that's unfortunate. You guys deserve to see this football team win, like I was able to see them win like this last week. You know, I can't. I was happy to see that, but I'm not happy about our team not winning home games. That's a problem for me. And I feel bad for all the fans that pay their hard-earned money to go watch the Giants play, the season ticket holders. People that this might be their only game to watch this season, and then they just get to see this. A team that can't get the ball into the end zone, pretty much, and they can't make field goals when we're in field goal range to kind of make things interesting, to kind of put a little pressure on the Cincinnati Bengals, who wasn't really playing well for most of the game. Their two touchdowns was Joe Burrow run for 47 yards because we had our whole defense playing man on the left side of the field, so he just ran to the right side of the field, and you only had really two people to beat to get to the end zone. So that's one run, and the second run was right up the middle. Nobody jumped in the gap to kind of stop him from getting to the end zone. So that was just I attribute that to a tired defense. For the most part, besides those two plays, our defense played pretty well throughout this whole game. Making plays and doing the best they can to keep the Bengals out of the end zone. And stopping them in the red zone, forcing them to field goals. So there was a lot of things you can take from the defense that you can say, okay, we have a good defense. Despite not having Kayvon Thibodeau. And so we weren't quite 100%. At least Zizo Ojulari stepped up and had a big game. Brian Burns played a decent game. Dexter Lawrence played a decent game. So we had guys that played decent games. Deontay Banks did the best he could against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. It's Cordell Flott, same thing. They had their moments. We had our moments, but you gotta pick up those fumbles. When the ball's live like that on the ground, you gotta bring that in. You can't miss that play. Especially at that time of the game in the fourth quarter where we needed a turnover, and they basically handed it to us right there. We can't let that go out of bounds. So, just opportunities like that we can't squander in a game like this where it's tight for most of the game. We got to be able to make plays. In the offense, I said Tyrone Tracy did the best he could. He's going to be a solid running back for us. I'm seeing a lot of good things from him. He's just only going to get better. And our offensive line had a decent game. They had their moments. So it was kind of a average game, I'd say. But that's average better than what it was last year. So at least we know we have a competent offensive line. For the future, as long as we keep these guys together. So offensively, we had our, we were just stalling. We didn't complete drives. We throwing interceptions in the red zone. In the beginning of the game when Daniel Jones had the flat, and that was a good read. That was his read, was the flat, and he decided to abandon that read and then throw it to nobody and throw a pick. Except for the other team, throw a pick, and that's when I already knew that this is going to be a long game based on that, based on him making decisions like that. I don't know why he doesn't know how to play at home. It seems like whenever he's playing in Giant Stadium or MetLife Stadium, I should call it Giant Stadium because this is pretty much our house. But Giant Stadium. It just, I don't know. I don't know what he. I don't know if it is. Is it the fans? Is it how we treat him at the stadium? I don't know. Because he seems to just melt down. When it's at home games at night. So it just seems he just can't win that way. And I don't. Like I said, I tried my best to, to stand behind him as a quarterback and to go with him and hope that one day that he becomes our quarterback of the future. You know, if we can kind of put it all together to be that quarterback to where we can say, okay, he's gonna help us win football games. He's gonna help us get to the playoffs. He's gonna help us win playoff games. He's gonna help us get to the Super Bowl. He's gonna help us win the Super Bowl. I just don't see him as that quarterback for us. I don't know what everybody else. There's because the fan base is pretty much divided into two two sections. We all can agree that our offensive line is decent. Our draft class this past year is great. We had a great rookie class this year, including Malik Neighbors, which like I said, I'm not even going to get into him not being at the game because we was missing him clearly this game. Because we needed a playmaker to make plays and get us in the end zone, and we didn't have that with him. And he shouldn't be. It's kind of baffling that he's in concussion protocol after 11 days off from off the short week, off the Thursday night game, and then a whole another week of him not being able to play. The speculation on why, but I'm not gonna get into that. It is what it is. Rookies, need to be professionals. At the end of the day, I just felt like I think professionalism had something to do with it, and what his priorities should have been. As far as his football team and what is expected of him as a star receiver. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to get too deep into that. But you know where I'm going with that. But anyway, we can't win like this when our offense can't get the ball, can't finish drives and get the ball into the end zone. So, what are we going to do now? Now that we're 2-4, we got the Eagles next week. We don't want to look like ass against them. We want to at least try to win that game. But at the same time, it's like, okay, so do we really want to sit here and be mediocre this season and put ourselves in a position where we can't really make the necessary improvements that we need to make as far as getting the cornerback in the draft and potentially and probably getting a quarterback as well in this draft? Because we got, if you guys, we can't go down the road, get into the future with this type of a record in the prime time. It's just the writing's on the wall. I know all the you got the stat geeks that are talking about that talk against Daniel Jones as far as he doesn't do enough to pretty much garner himself as a franchise quarterback. You got the diehards, the New York Giant diehard fans that are that are going to stand behind Daniel Jones no matter what. Just because he's our quarterback, he's our starting quarterback. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to stand behind the starting quarterback and root for him, win, lose, or draw. And because if you don't, then you're not a Giants fan, quote unquote. That's some BS, man. Quit ignoring what you see on the tape. The tape doesn't lie. I'm a tape guy. I'm not a rah-rah guy. I'm not a diehard Giants fan. Rah-rah. I'm gonna go with you to the end, no matter what type of guy. I'm not no freaking stat geek that's gonna use the numbers and go and make my decision based off of what I'm seeing on the numbers. I'm looking at the tape. I'm watching the game. I'm trusting my eyes, and my eyes are showing me that this quarterback can't play in big moments. If he's on the road and he's doing well on the road, then that's different. That's okay. You can play well on the road. You can win football games, when you're away from Giant Stadium. But when you get home, you just like, for some reason, or if it's a night game, or if it's both in this case, so that's a double whammy, then you can't, it's just some reason you tend to have meltdowns. You tend to make the most mistakes. So, we can't move forward with that. I don't know how else I can show you, but by just showing you the tape, we can't move forward with this quarterback. I'm sorry. It's been 6 years. We've seen this over and over and over and over and over again. Hopefully he'll get us through the season. Hopefully he'll look decent and win some games. Hopefully maybe he'll beat Philadelphia one time this year. Maybe he'll beat one of the division teams. That's what y'all want. Y'all want us to be mediocre so we can continue to be going through the circle. I really don't want to see this anymore as far as a quarterback because we have everything else in a cornerback. We need another cornerback as well, and maybe another safety. We just need some help in the secondary, some help at the quarterback position. Maybe another receiver. We just a bunch of different things. We need a lot of different things in order for me to feel like, we're going to take the next step. So it's going to be another draft class that's going to really turn this team around and put us into the place where we need to be, where we're contending and we're competing for Super Bowls, because that's what we want at the end of the day, right? I hope that's what everybody wants, or I hope that everybody wants to, or unless everybody wants to stick their chest out and say, yeah, I'm a loyal Giants fan. We're all loyal Giants fans. That's not nothing to be bragging about. We all want to see this team win, but we all got to trust our eyes and what we're seeing and what's been a pattern throughout these last 6 years with the guy with the most important position on the field, which is the quarterback. We can win a few games here and there. We can win some great games against Seattle. We can win a playoff game against Minnesota, but we got to finish the job. That's what it's all about. Do you ask yourself, do you think that this quarterback is going to be the one that's going to finish the job, that's going to get us to the Super Bowl, and that's going to win the game for us? Answer that question for me before you come at me and talk to me about we should be stand behind this quarterback no matter what. Ask yourself that question, and then if you want to come at me and talk to me about how I feel about us needing to go a different direction with the quarterback next year, and then we'll talk. Because I want you to give me an honest answer. Because I don't think there's nothing else you can tell me, but we need to go into a different direction with a quarterback. It is what it is. We've done this for 6 years. We see the kid playing hard. We see him doing his best out there. You see him running when we're trying to run with the football and making positive impacts on the field. But we need to get the ball downfield, and we need to finish these drives, and we can't have these mistakes that we see time and time again. So there's a lot to unpack. So at the end of the day, we lost this game. We had plenty of opportunities to win, but we didn't. So now we gotta go back to the drawing board, prepare for Eagles week, and decide if we want to go ahead and try to win this game, which you should, because I think we always should want to beat the Eagles, no matter what our record is. So let's go ahead and get ready for next week, and let's try to win this football game. Hopefully Malik Neighbors is back and ready to play for that game, so we can see what we can do against the Eagles, and then we can reevaluate our season from there. Because I think that the Eagles game is going to really put the season in perspective whether we win or lose that game, because there's going to be a lot of backlash coming from out of that game. We got Saquon Barkley coming in town, and it's just the Eagles. The Eagles are just coming to try to see if they can try to make a fool out of us. Even though they only put up only won by 4 points against the Cleveland Browns. So we'll see how that goes. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. Let's just hope that we do better from here, and then we can figure out what we want to do as a football team moving forward. Whether we want to be mediocre, or do we want to go on a 8-game winning streak to actually give ourselves a chance to make it to the playoffs, or something crazy like that, or or what, or do we want to just tank the season? I know we can't be telling our football players to tank, because you're playing a physical, violent sport, and I play football, and I know, every time I touch that field, I want to play to win, so I don't want to sit here and say let's go, all right, we should be tanking, because. Go ahead and talk to them players about tanking. They'll probably cuss you out. Talking about tanking. I'm taking all these hits, and I better win. Nobody they don't care about that. At least they shouldn't. But at the same time, as fans, we look at it like, man, we need to improve in a lot of different areas, to really compete. I mean, just it is what it is. So we need to have another good draft class. So we got a lot of things to think about. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna salute y'all. Hope you guys have a good night. I hope y'all get lick your wounds and get over this one, and we can move on to next week, and hopefully we can do something against the Eagles. So again, click the like, subscribe, hit the bell if you want to keep up with my videos, and have yourselves a great night. Peace out.